helpful to. The next thing I want to talk about is your methods project. So if you've got your syllabus packet, go ahead and get it out. And they don't have methods stuff in there, do they? Or do yours?
I think it did.
Okay, mine doesn't. This thing that I have does not. Because I copied yours later.
Yeah.
You do have?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you might have noticed that in this class, there's a lot of points and a lot of time devoted to this methods project. And I think in your packet you've got a paper that says guidelines.
Yes.
Okay, guidelines, and then there's a rubric for.
You want to just?
Yeah, let me just look at it. Sorry.
I already read.
I copied my packet before I got these updated. Okay, so you've got guidelines for your methods project, and then there's a rubric for the presentation part, and then there's a sheet that you fill out for your classmates. Was this interesting or not? You know what? When people use that is when they hate the person. People rarely use that one. I wish they would if it was boring, because you all have a kindness to each other. Like over the years, classes have a kindness to each other that is touching. And they're usually like, "You're so great, you get a 5. I love you, friend." But I do want you to have as a goal that your presentation is interesting. And for those of you who are presenting in seminar, we have updated the form this year to include something about that, because sometimes certain presentations are deadly dull to certain faculty members. So it's like 5 points or something. But we'll talk about that in another class. But what this methods project is interpreting data. And when I started at King, I was so happy that we have science seminar and that we do those presentations, but I was dismayed, and sometimes still am, about how students handle data. So if you haven't been in seminar yet, you will sometimes see this, that someone, they're going along and they're doing a good job, and then they put up a data figure and they say something about it for about 20 seconds and then they go on. And you can tell that they're like freaked out because they don't know what this means. And they're trying to get past it, and if you do that, we have like an internal clock. They're like, they only showed that for 30 seconds. We're going to ask you to put it back up again. We're probably going to ask you to put it back up again anyway, but I wanted to do something to help with students being freaked out by data in the papers. So that's what this project is about. What you're going to do is pick an article from Cell. There's a journal, and it's just called Cell. That's the name of it. It's a very prestigious journal. And these days, there are a lot of journals in the Cell family. And I'm going to show you those in a few minutes. So Cell Journal, or the Cell Journal family. So for example, Cell Stem Cell. There's one called Cell Metabolism. There's one called The Plant Cell. You can also pick The Plant Cell. Some of you might actually want to do that. It's only happened once, ever. But if you want to use The Plant Cell, you can do that. There might be one that's like Cell Genetics. So the reason that I like these journals is that the papers are long, and that might seem bad, but because it has a big, sizable text limit, the authors can write a lot, and they can explain a lot that other journals that have short articles, they don't have time to explain that. So journals like Science and Nature, if you ever get an article published in Science or Nature, it pretty much makes your career. They're the tip top of the whole world journals, but their articles are so short that if you're not in that field, you usually can't understand what they're talking about. So they put some data, they put a conclusion, they put like the briefest intro, and they're not easy to understand. So Cell is prestigious. It's got enough description to know what kind of what they're talking about, and they have lots of figures. And what you're going to do is pick an article that interests you out of Cell or the Cell family of journals. Pick an article that interests you. Amanda, what interests you, like scientifically?
Neurology.
Yeah. So you would probably search for something about neurons or a certain signaling pathway or a certain disease that you're interested in. Dalton, what interests you?
I like microbiology.
Microbiology. You could search like gut microbes, or you could search for things about drug design. The other good thing about Cell and the Associated Journals is it covers most topics in cellular detail. The only student I ever had that couldn't find something was dead set on finding something about how sharks detect sonar waves, and that was too specific. She's actually doing work on that now. She's very motivated. That's too specific, but whatever you're interested in, you can find a paper that's pretty relevant in Cell or the Cell journals. And then you're going to pick, I want you to pick 2 of those and email it to me. And I look at them and I give you professional advice on which one you should do. And that's based on, are you picking a paper that I myself am not informed enough about? So if you pick one that is bioinformatics, you might need Dr. Vaughn to help you with that. And you have that option, but she's not. That's out of the goodness of her heart. Most papers I can handle advising you on it. There have been like 2 in the past where I'm like, I don't know this technique. So pick a paper, 2 papers. I think that's due August 7th. You've got it in your materials to send me by email.
September.
Yeah, September, thank you. Yeah, that's what I meant. September 7th, email me the titles. Links are most convenient. And I'll look at them and I'll suggest, oh, you need to do this one. Sometimes people pick the same one and you can't both do the same one. That doesn't usually happen. Okay, take a break right now because I realize I need to get Cell Journal up here and turn that off too.